happening behind the scenes.
Don't blame nobody.
All right, Jerica, here we go. What is your big takeaway from the court today?
I think that the testimony that Don Richard gave in the defense really going in on some of the inconsistencies were the takeaways. There were moments today where the defense was asking Don Richard, which is, you know, is a member of Danity Kane, and another group that Holmes had from 2004 to 2011. And what we heard today was Don Richard admitting that she was not sure why she didn't make some of her proclamations of who was at a party during an alleged assault. She said that she didn't know why she didn't say certain things in previous interviews with prosecutors.
And some of those people that she failed to mention were
A-list celebrities, that's right. So there was an instance where Don Richard mentions an assault that happened at a restaurant. And she mentioned some of the names of people that Holmes worked with. But when the defense asked her, well, what about the celebrities? You said there were celebrities there. Why didn't you mention those names? And she said she wasn't sure. But some of those names were Usher, Jimmy Iovine, she said, and she remembers.
You described today in the cross with the defense and Don as being ping pong. How so?
Yeah, so I think it was such a rapid fire of questions from the defense when she was asking Don Richard about some of those inconsistencies that you could literally see the jurors looking back and forth at the defense and then at Don Richard. So that was the first time that I had seen that. I literally said earlier in a TikTok video that it felt like I was watching a tennis match because there was so much quick back and forth when the defense was making her arguments to Don Richard and questions really about some of those inconsistencies.
Wow. So Dawn finished her testimony today. She claimed at one point that Diddy had hit Cassie with a skillet and said, quote, "You said you could go missing, that we could die." So what was the reaction in court to that statement?
Yeah, so just to kind of set up the scene, the defense was saying, so did you say that Combs attempted to hit her with a skillet, or did he actually hit her with a skillet? She's pointing out that in several interviews, the story sort of changes, and Don Richard's response is, well, this was a long time ago, and sometimes my memory's, a little foggy, and I might remember things differently. But again, as a juror, if you're listening to that, it goes back to credibility, and you have someone that's facing serious time behind bars, so I think that's what they were trying to get at, that some of her stories weren't always exact to what she had previously told prosecutors, as it pertains to you could go missing. So the story goes